Today I'm going to talk about accrued expenses. As I explain accrued expenses, I'm going to use rent for illustration purposes. Now, rent is something that most of you people that are watching me relate to. You're probably paying rent. Let's assume that you are paying a monthly rate of $100 every month. If you're paying $100 every month, this is how it's going to play out as far as the accounting cycle is concerned. When you pay rent in your business, it means you're going to generate what we call a cash payment voucher because you're paying out cash to your landlord for the rent. So that cash payment voucher becomes a source document that source document becomes an accounting trigger that is going to prompt you to make an entry into your accounting books. So as a result of that source document, because the transaction has taken place, you're going to go ahead and write in the relevant journal the rent that you have paid. Afterwards, you're going to make the double entry into the relevant ledgers. In this case, the double entry is going to be that you're going to debit the rent expense account because the expense has increased, and because you've given out cash, you're going to credit the cash account with the $100 that you have paid in rent. And so, just like you're seeing on your screen, that is how it's going to look like your rent account. You have paid, let's say, rent for January, and that is how it looks. So you're going to continue doing this again and again. February will come, you'll pay another $100. March will come, you'll pay another $100, and so on. Now, let's do a scenario here. You have been paying rent from January to December. It's December. You have been making transactions. The transactions have been posted in the relevant journals. Then from the ledgers, you've been posting these transactions to the relevant ledgers. And now that it's time to prepare the financial statements, it is the 12-month period is done. Now it's time to do the trial balance for the 12 months period. Remember, it is from the trial balance that the information we get from the trial balance is what we use to prepare the financial statements. So the 12-month period is done, and it's time for you to prepare financial statements. So you have made this trial balance. Now, if I may extract the trial balance I'm talking about, you see, let's say the trial balance has in the rent account, we have $800, the debit balance of $800. The debit balance of $800 means, in this illustration that I'm using, that you have paid rent for only 8 months. You remember, we are trying to make balances and extract information for the 12 months period, but the rent account only shows information or that you have paid rent for 8 months. And this is the information that you have that you're supposed to be using to prepare financial statements. So now a question arises. Should you go ahead and take the rent expense as just $800? Now, this is where the accrual concept in accounting comes in. I have discussed this earlier in our previous videos. And we said that the accrual concept in accounting seeks to put this straight, that whether expenses or revenues have been paid for or not, if they have been incurred, they need to be recognized. Or if I may rephrase it, the accrual concept in accounting simply states that revenues and expenses that have been incurred for a given period of time must be recognized, whether cash has been paid or not. So in the case of this rent, when you see the rent here in the trial balance, it means it's only 8 months of rent that have been paid. But we are doing financial statements for a 12 months period. So if only 8 months have been paid, it means that as at the end of the financial period, 4 months worth of rent have not yet been paid. So because 4 months worth of rent have not yet been paid, it is not good for us to ignore it. According to the accrual concept, these 4 months worth of rent have been incurred. And because they have been incurred, we need to recognize them. So the process of recognizing this is what we call passing adjusting entries. In other words, we have created the trial balance, and now that we have realized that there are some some amount of rent that we have that has been incurred but has not yet been paid, it means we need to adjust our rent account to make sure that we recognize the rent that we incurred. Now, this rent that has been incurred but has not yet been paid is what we call an accrued expense, or accrued rent in this specific case. So accrued expenses are actually expenses that have been incurred but have not yet been paid. And according to the accrual concept, we are required to recognize them. Now, of course, at the time we are preparing the trial balance, these accrued expenses do not feature in our trial balance because there was no accounting trigger to enable us to recognize them. So we are going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how we do the adjusting entries to recognize accrued expenses. In this case, I'll be using this illustration of rent to show you how we are going to adjust for the 4 missing months that we have not paid for. And I'll be showing you how we do the double entries relating to this accrued rent, and that is how pretty much we will be handling all accrued expenses. It's also important to note that by us recognizing the 4 months that were incurred but not paid, the accrued rent in this case, we are only trying to be consistent with the accrual concept of accounting, which I've already mentioned, and also the matching principle. The matching principle states that in case you are going to prepare a statement of comprehensive income, the revenues that were earned in that period should be matched against the expenses that were used to earn that revenue. In this case, we have incurred rent of 12 months. Whereas in our books, we've only paid rent for 8 months. The truth of the matter is that we have incurred rent of up to 12 months. And because the rent has been incurred of up to 12 months, it means that entire rent is what has helped us to generate the revenue that we are going to recognize. So we need to recognize it as well as an expense that has been incurred in the process of deriving the revenue, despite the fact that cash has not been paid yet. So now that we have recognized that we have rent that we incurred but had not been recognized in the books, what do? Of course, let's get back to the rent account. The rent account is only recognizing $800 because it is this $800 that we actually paid. But the truth of the matter is that we incurred rent worth 12 months. So it means as far as this rent account, we have 4 months that we have not recognized, whose rent has not been paid. So because of the accrual concept, we are going to go ahead and include those 4 months on the rent account. So in this case, what we are going to do, we are going to go ahead and debit the rent account with those remaining 4 months. In this case, we are going to go ahead and debit the rent account with $400. After debiting the rent account with $400, the other item that has been affected to complete our double entry is what we are going to call the accrued rent account. So when we are passing these adjustments, we create what we call the accrued rent account. So the accrued rent account is where we are going to do the corresponding credit entry, and that credit entry will be a credit entry of $400. Now take note that the accrued rent account in this case here now has a credit balance. The accrued rent of $400, remember, it is something that we have not yet paid. So it means that this is a liability. We are supposed to be, paying it in the future. So it is treated as a liability. That is why it has a credit balance, the accrued rent. So as far as our financial statements are concerned, the accrued rent account is going to be treated as a liability. And of course, definitely when it comes to the rent account, as far as expenses are concerned, we are going to post the entire 12 months amount. That is the $1,200. That is what we are going to post in our profit and loss. What I'm trying to show you here is now this accrued rent item is going to go into our balance sheet as a liability. And of course, when this liability is eventually paid in the future, then that liability in the balance sheet will be cancelled out. So in a nutshell, this is how we handle the double entry relating to accrued expenses. We shall go ahead and debit the respective expense account. It could be accrued rent, accrued salaries, accrued whatever. As we debit the respective expense account, and we create an account called an accrued expense account. In this case, an accrued expense account, we go ahead and credit the corresponding debit entry in the accrued expense account. An accrued expense is a liability, and it is treated in the balance sheet, or call it the statement of financial position. And of course, the rent account is an expense that is treated in the profit and loss account.